Today we're going to be looking at division with base 10 blocks and partial quotients notation. So I'm on the mathlearningcenter.org app, and the app is titled Number Pieces. And you can see we have our base 10 blocks over here. I've selected the multicolor base 10 blocks. I'm going to start by entering my problem that we'll be working with here today, 585 divided by 5. And I can click this small a here to make it a little bit smaller. And the first thing I'm going to do is brainstorm about 5 groups. So I'm going to pull up a text box here, and I want to think about 5 groups of some friendly numbers. So 5 groups of 1. 5 groups of 1 is 5. 5 groups of 2 is 10. 5 groups of 5 is 25. 5 groups of 10 is 50. 5 groups of 20, 100. 5 groups of 50 is 250. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do 5 groups of 100. It's 500. So just a little pre-thinking about what I know when dealing with 5 groups, just some friendly numbers. So 5 groups of 1, or 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2, 10, 5 times 5, 25, 5 times 10, 50, 5 times 20, 100, 5 times 50, 250, and 5 times 100, 500. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here so I have a little bit more space to work with. And the next thing I want to do is to actually build the number 585 with the base 10 blocks. So I'm going to start by bringing over 5 hundreds, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and then 8 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And I want to spread those out a little bit. And then 5 ones. So we have now a model here of 585, and we'll count just to confirm: 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 500, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 581, 2, 3, 4, 5, 585. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make 5 groups down here at the bottom. All right, 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups. And I also want to, I'm going to change colors here, and I'm going to put an area where I'm going to keep track of my division with my partial quotient strategy here. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what we've got here. 585 divided by 5. I want to write that right over here. So in this problem, the dividend, or the number I'm dividing, is 585. I'm going to be dividing that by the divisor 5, which means we're going to be splitting 585 into 5 equal groups. And then our answer will be the quotient. We don't have that yet. So I want to go ahead and start with the idea of how many of these base 10 blocks can I pass out into these 5 different groups. And so I'm going to start with thinking about this place value here, which is the hundreds place. Do I have some hundreds that I could split up into 5 groups? Well, yeah, I have some hundreds right here. So let's see if we have enough to share equally with each of the 5 groups. And we do. 1 group of 100, 2 groups of 100, 3 groups of 100, 4 groups of 100, 5 groups of 100. So I'm going to go ahead and notate that right here. I just took 5 groups of 100 away from the model and placed those in my workspace down below. So since I took those away from the model and they're no longer appearing here, I'm going to subtract. 5 ones minus 0 ones is 5 ones, and I still have 5 ones. 8 tens minus 0 tens is 8 tens, and I still have 8 tens. 5 hundreds minus 5 hundreds is 0 hundreds, and as you can see, there are no more hundreds up here in our model. All right, so I'm going to move to the next place value now. I'm in the tens place. How many tens can I take away from the model to share evenly into the 5 groups? Well, that kind of makes me think of something I wrote when I was brainstorming here. 5 groups of 10 equals 50. I want to try that and see if that works. 1 group of 10, 2 groups of 10, 3 groups of 10, 4 groups of 10, 5 groups of 10. All right, I was able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and notate that I just removed 5 groups of 10 from the model. And since I removed them from the model, I'm going to subtract. 5 ones minus 0 ones is 5 ones, and we still have 5 ones. 8 tens minus 5 tens equals 3 tens, and we still have 3 tens. So we have 35 now. All right, I wonder if I could share some more tens. Let's see. I'm going to give this a shot. What do you guys think? Well, I was able to pass those out to 3 groups, but I don't have enough for these last 2 groups, so that's not going to work. I can't share any more tens equally. So what could we do with these tens so that we could share with each of the 5 groups? If you said break them apart or exchange tens for ones, you're right. And the way we're going to do that on this app is we're going to select the 10 rod and click this here for break apart. Watch what happens. We're going to exchange 1 10 for 10 ones. We're exchanging another 10 for 10 ones and another 10 for 10 ones. Now we have 35 ones. What can we put in each group? We have 5 groups, 35 divided by 5. You may know this one, or you may come back up here to take a look at your brainstorming. Well, I know at the 5 groups of 5 is 25, so I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start by placing 5 base 10 blocks in each group. All right, I was able to place 5 base 10 blocks in each group. And so now I'm going to come over here and notate what I just did. I just took 5 groups of 5 away from my model, which was a total of 25. And 35 take away 25 is 10. Do we have 10 remaining? Yeah, right here. Okay, so we have 10 remaining. I have 5 groups. How many can I put in each group? Well, 5 groups of 2 equals 10, so I'm going to try that. So let's notate here. We just took 5 groups of 2 out of our model for a total of 10. So we're going to subtract, and 10 minus 10 is 0. Now, what's our final answer? Let's see. We have 5 groups of 100, 5 groups of 10, 5 groups of 5, and 5 groups of 2. Let's confirm that here. 110 plus 7 is 117. 110 plus 7 is 117. 110 plus 7, 117. 110 plus 7, 117. 110 plus 7, 117. Now let's add these up here and see what we get. 100 plus 10 is 110. 5 plus 2 is 7. 110 plus 7 is 117.